Our pals at LG sent me their flagship phone to review. It is the V30, and I've been spending some time with this thing. It is another slick Android phone. I enjoyed Samsung's Galaxy S8 earlier. Obviously, Apple's iPhone X or iPhone 10 is making a lot of noise out there still. This is one of these types of phones where the screen takes up almost all of the face, and I actually prefer the fact that it has these little tiny bezels at the top and bottom as opposed to that notch. That notch on the iPhone 10 still kind of bugs me. This also has a headphone jack, which I adore. I think that cell phones should still come with headphone jacks, and it drives me crazy when I can't charge and listen to music at the same time. This one you can, and honestly, what's exceptional about this phone is its audio drivers. The sound off of this phone is absolutely incredible. It's a big sort of part of the hype around the V30 is that you're going to get some of the best audio capabilities you can find in any cell phone anywhere. I listened to some stuff off of Google Music, and it just sounded incredible. The bass was perfect. Even just on earbud headphones, it sounds terrific. But if you've got yourself a nice pair of plug-in headphones or even Bluetooth headphones, you're going to be in heaven listening to music on this thing. They've also got two cameras on the back, and it's a little bit different than the iPhone functionality. I haven't played around with the Note 8, but I've heard that's got some pretty good cameras on it as well. But they've done something different here. It's not two cameras where one of them is kind of your fixed sort of framing, and then you press a button and suddenly you're zoomed in with the telephoto thing. This one, it actually does the reverse. You zoom back and you've got a little bit more of a widescreen kind of effect. I like that a lot. I prefer the idea of being able to get more of the image, even if it kind of fisheyes a little bit, as opposed to being able to zoom in. You've obviously got the digital zoom, which isn't the best. But frankly, the photos aren't fantastic on this phone. They're okay. They're solid. I compared them to my iPhone pictures and some of the Galaxy S8 pictures that I took, and the details are there, and the color and the stuff, and the focus is all right. And obviously we're quibbling at this point because most of these cell phones have marginally better cameras from one to the other. They're all pretty solid, but I did notice that the colors were a little bit dimmer. It didn't pop quite as much as I'm starting to get used to off of my iPhone pictures, and also with the video quality on the phone too. It's solid. I did try some of the front-facing selfie cam video, and it looked pretty good. The audio collection was great, but I noticed a little bit of warbling. I mean, it's got pretty decent stabilization, but I've shot a ton on my iPhone, and I tested out a lot of the S8's capabilities as well. And I did notice a little bit of, the sort of image kind of warbling and fighting my moves as I was trying to walk around. If you're talking about optical and camera and video performance on this phone, I don't think it's state-of-the-art. I think you're looking at state-of-the-art with the audio stuff right now, which is great. So if you are looking for like the perfect music device that will also function wonderfully as an Android phone, this is definitely a great pickup. I love that it has an OLED screen on it. I think the colors and the saturation and stuff look really slick to me. I've watched some movies on there. I actually punched into a little Transformers Dark Side of the Moon, I think, the third one, which I still kind of like that movie. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's just so insane that I kind of dig it. Like, you could see all of the details, all the buildings toppling over, and the wingsuits and the car crashes and stuff on the highway, and it sounds incredible, and it looks really solid on the OLED screen. I also looked at some animation stuff. It looked great. As a movie player, as a music player, it's really cool. I dig the fact that you get so much screen on this phone as well, and it's incredibly thin. It's glass backed and glass front, so it's a little bit fragile. You're probably going to want to get a case for this sucker, but it does allow for some fast charging. It's also water resistant, which is great, and the thumbprint scanner on the back is pretty solid as well. There are also some cinema filters in here, which are sort of engineered to kind of turn you into a budding movie maker, and all of that stuff is kind of fun to play with as well. This doesn't have the Android Oreo operating system on it yet. I haven't updated to that. I don't even know if it's available yet at the time that I'm reviewing this, but it's still pretty snappy. The processing in this thing is really fast. Games are incredibly fluid. I love all of that cool new Google Play sort of stuff that you can do in here, being able to stream right from games and record stuff and share that. Really clever stuff. There's a lot about Android that I just love, and I feel like Apple has got, still some steps to take to kind of catch up with a lot of the OS stuff that's just available on Android. And frankly, this is a solid phone. I think the standout feature for me is the fact that you're going to have crystal clear, beautiful audio. So if you do a lot of music listening, you should definitely look at the V30. I also like that you get a lot of detail with the always-on screen if you want, or you can obviously dial it all right back if you're worried about releasing too much sensitive information. It's not too big, but you get a lot of screen. I think that there's a lot of buzz and hype about phones being all screen out there and you know, virtually bezel-less, and it's basically like you're picking up a window. This comes pretty close. This is a very slick phone. It should be one of the contenders that you look at if you're thinking about picking up a brand new Android phone. LG is on a bit of a tear here. I think this is pretty solid. And it's fun to see this this kind of war between Samsung and LG right now. You know, they're both making great devices. I'm going to give the LG V30 an 8.5 out of 10. Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.